call Brett Hudson.
Thank you, Mr Chair. As we're talking on the purposes and the intentions of this bill, I'll just respond to Dr Clark's contribution, because I think it highlights a couple of very important pieces. One is, firstly, it highlights the fact, both his amendment to the amendment and Ms Bond's amendment, that they don't actually understand the technology systems that are going to have to be upgraded, changed to actually give effect to a New Zealand business number. So the other thing is that by trying to do it within 2 years, Mr Chair, what he's saying is simply the government should be throwing money all across every government agency in a really, really short period of time to do something. Now, one of the things the New Zealand government has done an excellent job of, Mr Chair, is to actually deliver better public services for the same or less public expenditure. And what Labor is showing is, just as they did with their ridiculous plan for a universal basic income, is just say, let's spray money we don't have at a perceived problem and the idea that you can just fire hose it down and create a new outcome. Well, it simply won't work for them. So what they're saying is, we'll just throw a whole lot of money we don't have to get agencies to derail their current IT programs of work and to focus on this one thing right now to do this tomorrow. Whereas what a sensible approach would say is, we have a lot of government agencies, in order to interface with a single New Zealand business number system or an interface, they are going to have to make changes to their applications, not one, but probably several, and in some cases many each, to be able to pass that information backward and forward, to be able to exchange it in a way where, as the member says, it will actually work. Now, they can do that all now, instead of other work that's already on their IT program, or they can do what a sensible business would do, which is that actually integrated as part of their program of change. You see, businesses, and including government agencies, aren't static things, particularly their technology systems. They don't just stay at one place in one shape for all time. They have change programs already. Dr Clark just says they should completely derail them and move on to something new. It is, quite frankly, a ridiculous proposition, Mr Chair, and just shows that the Labor opposition are still not fit to govern. The other point that they have made quite incessantly through the readings and select committee stage of this bill is, why don't we just pick one number that an agency already uses? Now, anyone who perhaps has any experience with an IT system or two would realise that if they were to do that, and they could pick any particular agency's identifier, if they were to do that, it would constrain, because you're looking at an identifier to be used by all agencies, they would constrain what that one agency could do with what was originally their identifier. For instance, Inland Revenue, with the use of the Inland Revenue number. It is an utterance, an idea that comes from a party that has no fundamental understanding of technology. It is a ridiculous proposition, one that would derail perhaps Inland Revenue's business operations in their own transformation project, all to try to deliver something which is not actually necessary. You see, one of the great things about technology in the last 25 years, Mr Chair, is a thing called integration and interoperability. The idea that systems and applications can message between each other, that they can communicate messages, actions, information between each other. You don't need to change every one of them to be some homogeneous, identical thing. It is a smart IT project to create this unique Business New Zealand number in a separate central repository and interface those other systems to it. To somehow break that by using one feature of one of those agency systems and then make all of the others fit into that is simply 30-year-old technology thinking, Mr Chair. So if we really want to defeat the purpose of this bill, if we really want to make it less efficient for businesses to interact with each other or agencies, we would actually support their amendments, because nothing could be worse for this bill than to follow the amendments that Ms Bond and Dr Clark have tried to put into the House. Thank you.
I'm going to call Ria Bond.